Hey guys, I'm Gray with Silverfield. You can contact us right here. There's our phone number. I'm going to show you our checklist on how we get all our footers marked. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure we got enough 3-foot stakes out here. This particular project took right under 30 stakes. So yeah, we want to make sure we got all our stakes. These do cost about $10 a piece, so surprisingly that's $300 in stakes. We want to make sure we have the plans on our phone, the PDF, so we have it. We also want to make sure that we have the framing plans and the foundation plans with our X and Y axis. If you're looking at a grid, you got an X and you got a Y, and we square the house first, and then you need all these numbers knowing where each pin goes based off of square. You're gonna need your survey plan. You're gonna need usually about 3 rolls of 1,000 foot string. We got it here. And also the string is, that's expensive as well. It's about $10 a roll. And you do $30 in string, surprisingly. You think it was less than that. Next, you're gonna need a 16-foot pole over here. We've already done this. We're just doing the training video for fun. Let's do it now. We have our 16-foot pole. We took this and let's see it. We got a spot down there. It's 17 feet lower. So obviously, if you're not level, it's going to be quite a bit different, about 2 or 3 feet different for that corner, based off a level versus the bottom. It's just like a triangle. We tape a level onto here, and we tape a level onto there. You can see the screws up there. We screwed on our tape measure, and then one person got this level, another person on that corner, another person on that corner, and then you hold it. And they say they're good when the line's tight and they're holding it at 0. Of course, you want to make sure you got all your property lines marked with orange. Make sure you're building on your property. We got a very close easement right here with 7.5 feet, and we're at 8.5 feet, so we only got 1.5 feet of play. We did have to mark that. You're going to need 3 people. Not many ways to get around that one. One person holds each end, so there's 2 people, and then one person puts the two tape measures together like that, and then drops the pin in. You want 2 100-foot tape measures that don't have any stretch. I also take a 25-foot one with me that's metal, and that way some of these you can do by yourself. Like if it's coming off of a corner and it's on the back wall or the side wall, those only take 1 person to measure. But when you get the more harder ones out there, you gotta have 3 people. You're gonna need 2 cans of white spray paint, and that's so you can paint this line. And we're only gonna paint it after we have our operator scheduled and no rain in the forecaster. You just have to buy 2 more cans of paint and repaint it. You're gonna square the outer perimeter first. That's gonna happen very, very first, is getting the outer perimeter of the house. So let me show you our clipboard here. All right, here's our clipboard. And we always want to keep the house oriented the same way it is, but we squared that corner, that imaginary corner. You do have to imagine that corner. And then we hit that corner. Of course, nothing's going in that corner, but we do have to use it to pull off the line. I'll show you what we're talking about. You see this line right here? And that line, you just grab your tape measure and you pull in, and then you drop your pin where it's at. All right, back to the checklist. We always use these checklists, always. And somebody signs their initials right on here when it's done. Okay, if this is the highest point, this guy is gonna hold at the very ground right there. And then like down there, it's about a 4-foot difference, so they're gonna hold 4 feet off the ground with that tape measure. Whenever they're like holding the tape measure, holding off the ground. We want that tape measure to go perfectly straight. So I don't know if you can see this string here, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. So you see this orange string? It goes here to there. It's at a very steep angle. If I were to grab this point and bring it towards the ground, it would come in and over to over there. So that's why we have to be perfectly straight. And same if you were to raise this, it would move. It would move in a circular direction. we were to pull that down. So that is why we have to be at the same elevation. In that case, it's 17.5 feet over there. We just measured it. Once you get everything squared, you want to double check. You're going to take your tape measure again. You're going to hit this corner, that corner, that corner, and that corner. 2 people each side, double checking it to make sure, because you can get it crooked and still measure. That's why you do the Pythagorean theory. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And you go corner to corner at an angle. And then you check it again when you're done, because every one of these pins is pulled off of that square. Okay, one person is going to be in charge of holding the floor plan and saying what the numbers are. And then another person is going to be in charge of holding the two tape measures and pinning it. And then usually our least experienced person is going to be just holding the tape measure on the side. So that's how it goes. And gradually we work you up to where you're setting the pin. The pin is setting the pin and calling the numbers. Those are very critical positions. Okay, once you get it all done, we're going to string everything, all your stakes in between, and that's going to be for accurately marking where we spray paint at. You want to put those loaded. You want to put them touching the ground. When they're touching the ground, we can walk over them without tripping. If they're 6 inches off the ground, we might trip. If they're 3 feet off the ground, we can't get over there. Okay, once they're all marked, we know we've checked that the weather is good. We've got our guy on the schedule. That's when we go out and we spray paint all these lines. The 4 corners, they will never come up. They are not coming up until the concrete is poured. That's the only time the 4 outermost corners come up. We will need those for the blocks to, we got the footers down, then we build the blocks on top of it. The blocks have to be very accurate. Our footers, they're 24 inches wide, about 18 inches deep most of the time. And our little piers that go in the middle, those are gonna be 2 feet by 2 feet by 18 inches deep. Once we're done, we're gonna take a drone photo of everything, and we're gonna do our drone photo. That's gonna help us check to see if there's anything obvious messed up from the air. After that, we're gonna take our laser level and we're gonna check. We don't have to necessarily hit every corner, but we are gonna hit most of the corners, especially the ones that get concrete poured in it. This is a crawl space and a slab, but we put E0, this is the highest point, and then we put E2, 2 feet 4 inches. E stands for elevation, E 4 feet 1 inch, and we write these down. Then we get home and we make this look a lot cleaner. When we're in the field and it's 95 degrees, we do what we can. Today is about 95 degrees, so we get all those measured up, and after that we schedule the guy to dig the footers, and everything gets signed off. The picture of that checklist, after it's signed off, picture of it gets taken, uploaded to company cam, and that's how we do this. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Make sure you got a big hat when you're doing this, because it will be hot, and it's critical work. We do like to do this in the morning. Today it didn't work out. We had to do it in the heat of the day. But that's just how it works sometimes. But anyway, that is how you mark your footers.